Well, the Aberdeen Angus are sort of my baby. I adore the Aberdeen Angus, and I feel very much, again, it's my duty to keep them going. But I love breeding anything, whether it's horses, dogs, or Aberdeen Angus. And they, of course, originated from here. It was my great-grandfather who started the first pedigree Aberdeen Angus herd with two other great agriculturists. And he bred them for their ease of breeding, their milkiness. They fatten quicker on grass than any other animal. And, of course, they are the best beef, I think, in the world. I mean, every good restaurant in London and Paris all have Aberdeen Angus beef, and it is delicious. And I love, actually, people to see, we sometimes have the master chefs of Great Britain here, who've never seen an Aberdeen Angus. They've cooked Aberdeen Angus, but they've never seen an Aberdeen Angus. And I like to let them see how wonderfully they are fed up here, because a lot of the farmers feed them in exactly the same way as we do. The grass is fantastic in this area, as you probably know. And I like to see them peacefully grazing in the Kuhach in front of the castle. It's a wonderful backdrop. And to see how they're fed and that they're happy. They are good-natured, but it's the way they're handled.
I don't think I point to walking through them. You know, every day I walk through them. Certainly I take the pickup into the field, but I'll walk through the cattle. Oh, they're not stupid. Not by any means. The same as sheep with that. You know, they're not stupid. You know, you have to learn to work with them, and you know how they work. You know, and they're all different. Aye. You know which one's going to run away, or or whatever. Same at calving time too. You know, they'll be very protective when they calve the Aberdeen Angus, but only probably for the first fortnight to 3 weeks, and they're back to normal then. You know, so you just have to be careful. Aye. I did my first stint of judging last year at the Angus show, the Angus cattle at the Angus show.
Did you get bribed by anyone to?
No, no, and I live to tell the tale.
Oh, good.
So I didn't get any complaints.
Not
to my face anyway.
I suppose everyone's got their favourite, like the confirmation and things.
Very much, you know.
We were hearing that you won an award for, was it Stock
Salmon of the Year at the Black Isle.
That was the Black Isle show 2 years ago, yeah, a year past. Yeah.
Oh, well done. So what did you have to do for that, or how did you get that?
Well, basically there's a judge there on the day, and he just goes round and round. He just keeps going round the cattle lines and sees how you're performing, basically, you know. And I suppose the fact if you're winning prizes helps too.
Yes.
And how tidy you keep your pens and how your cattle are looking and all the rest of it and things like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We do the local shows. We start in Nairn. Nairn show's our first one. Nairn, Black Isle, Keith and Granton.
And we did very well, didn't we?
We've done all right. Aye.
Well, the
no
show
complaints
we swept the board, and the Black Isle show we also did well, didn't we, last year?
Oh, aye. Yeah, we're the champion there the last 2 years. So, but the show is it's a great shop window. There's a lot of unseen work in it.
And for some weeks before.
Oh, you'd be a good 2 months anyway. Yeah, from the time we start halter training them until the day of the show. So 11 to 12 month old we start to halter train them. Kind of by that time you've got a rough idea if they're going to be a decent bull or not.
How would you know? How do you spot a good bull from early on then?
Well, you've a fair idea when they're like a month old, something like that, to 6 weeks old.
As early as that? Yeah.
And if they're a good calf, they'll go through a stage you don't like them. They'll go through an ugly stage when they're growing. You know, they have to go through that.
Yeah.
If they're too nice and neat all the time, they'll never grow.
Okay.
You know, but if they're nice when they're young, they'll come back nice again.
David's got a wonderful wife and 2 girls who are all into it, who've won prizes. They've won Young Handlers of the Year.
Well, the Aberdeen Angus run the Aberdeen Angus Youth Development Scheme, where they go on a training day to learn how to show cattle and different activities and that. And they show cattle at the end of the year at the Black Beauty Bonanza at Thainston, and both won their sections. Aye.
So it's very much a family profession.
Oh, aye. especially for the showing time, because when we start showing the cattle or start training the cattle, you know, that cattle are washed every day for about 2 months at least beforehand and walked. And, you know, so that goes off a lot of time.
I think we don't appreciate that.
Susan is marvellous. I never forget. Quite often I come up in the morning, there she is with a huge bull, giving it a shower and then blow drying
really?
it, and
Really?
and they
Oh,
never. She has this amazing
Wow.
effect on them.